Hello everyone, and welcome to another incredible episode. We are at episode 11, the first of the second, half series, I don't know, something, of Pokemon A to Z. And I am here with a very incredible co-host, so I'm your host, Menching the Amazing, and please introduce yourself.
Hey, this is BOhm. Happy to be on this series for the first time, and I'm looking forward to building a unique team with you.
Indeed. And I believe you recently rebranded, right?
Yeah, we are now the Lake Erie Monsters. So just coining off the Lake Erie Monsters hockey team. Just threw a Feraligatr in there instead of the monster logo.
Yep, definitely an option. So, today we are in episode 11, and we have an absolute interesting Pokemon, one that I have had a very rocky relationship with, so to speak. And have you ever used Armarouge in draft?
No, I have not, and
Okay.
I've looked at it a few times, and it's between the two Shark Cadet or whatever the pre-Evo's name is. Yep. Evolutions. I was bigger into Ceruledge, and everybody's kind of down on Ceruledge. But I think Armarouge does a lot of things.
Of the 4 people who have drafted Ceruledge in the VBL, 2 of them didn't like it, and 2 of them did like it.
Yeah, and so the people who didn't are more vocal.
Yes. I absolutely love both Goose and Raymond. I believe they've both been on this series, though it's possible I haven't used Goose in an A to Z because I just had Goose in a bunch of other videos, but I think he was in A to Z. Yeah, Goose was in a previous episode, so I've had both of them in this series. I do think that they are maybe not correct about their perspective on Ceruledge. I think Ceruledge is very good. I, in fact, used Ceruledge on 2 teams. It was the first Pokemon that I replicated as like a bonus one. So, got a lot of faith in it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so...
Armarouge has some cool things going
the other
for
Pokemon?
It, for sure.
Weavile.
Yeah, Weavile.
So... Gen powered home.
Yeah, as best as you can compare. If you squint very hard, that's what I'm seeing right now.
Yep. Significantly nerfed from last generation when it wasn't very good. It lost Triple Axle. And Throat Chop.
Right.
And Knockoff. But hey, it still has beat up.
What?
Did it not have Knockoff last gen? Because it definitely doesn't have it now. Its best dark move is Night Slash. Sneasel, do you know what Sneasel's strongest dark move is?
It has... Why? Why would they get rid of Knockoff? It's like the only utility the thing had.
You know what? Icy Wind and Helping Hand disagree.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of utility. It's got Fling. It's got Beat Up. Which, to be fair, does synergize very well with Armarouge.
Right. Yeah. I was definitely thinking along the lines of if we can find a way to maybe proc Armarouge a little bit and get Weavile off the field and put something else in, then he's actually doing something, but... Wow. Yeah, that's definitely different. I wasn't really expecting not to see Knockoff there, but I was also wondering when I'm looking at Sneasler in our current league why he doesn't get Knockoff. But
to be fair, that version has never gotten Knockoff.
Right. I just thought maybe distribution it made sense, but
yeah, because it doesn't evolve from regular Sneasel, it evolves from the other Sneasel, who's okay.
Yeah,
I stand by the other Sneasel being okay. I mean, I did hit a 0 bulk Ursaluna with stab close combat, and it did like 80%. So that wasn't great. But hey, it's just a super effective stab move into a Pokemon that doesn't resist, that takes it super effectively, and had no bulk investment.
Yeah. Something. Alright, let's see here.
Yes, part of my thoughts are, we don't really care about the defense drops if we go for beat up with stored power. Problem is, how do we make that useful? Oh, sorry, we should go over the Pokemon. Armarouge, one of the few Pokemon this generation with access to Ally Switch. Also has the incredible signature move Armor Cannon, which is a 120 base power, single target, 100% accurate fire type move. It's close combat, but special in fire type, and it is pretty good. Armarouge was very dominant in the early format, paired with Indeedee, clicking Expanding Force. And then they made it an expansion when they added in 2 new Dark types that were quite good. And then they made another set where they added in 4 new Dark types that were quite good. And then they made Regulation D. I have no idea if it added any new Dark types. Greninja. Greninja is not very good. Are there other Dark types they added in this format? Moltres, that one is quite good actually.
Yeah, Moltres.
So...
Christian Dark was, I'm sure we were alluding to that.
I have used Armarouge in 2 previous teams in this series. One with Indeedee, one without. I do think it still has its use case. Its typing is very good. It gives it a lot of reasonable resistances that pair very well with the Terra Grass. I think the main advantage over, say, Heatran to it is the fighting resist pre-Terra, because both of them want to Terra Grass and take advantage of Flash Fire on those sorts of teams. Also, it has access to Trick Room, which is good. And it is it the only Pokemon with Expanding Force, or does something like Mew or something have it?
I believe it is, though.
Well, not even Mew has it.
Only thing with Expanding Force. I mean, I think I think getting ahead of a little bit, but Expanding Force here has some utility if we're committing a little bit to Indeedee coming with us too, and it seems like good utility. I mean, we get something that will follow me. We get something else that can do Trick Room.
But maybe we do want to go with like that weakness policy, weak armor, stored power sort of set, where you take advantage of the fact that you have a bunch of stats to click stored power. But we don't have to. Right. That's just like my thought.
I agree 100%. I was just thinking, like, if we had to go a different mode.
I think I built this Pokemon twice in the season I drafted it, and one of those games, it won by me side flip turning into it with Scarf Palafin, and then just clicking damaging moves, because it didn't have an Indeedee, so it wasn't as good.
Right.
And the other game, it did not win, by any means. It's got Lava Plume, which is funny utility if you have Darkspoon. It's got pretty good coverage. Clear Smog is good against like Dozo is the funny thing that it beats. Destiny Bond is pretty interesting. Disable is not as good as Encore, but when you're a Pokemon with an immunity, if you're like say sitting against a Heatran and you disable its Earth Power and then it's only got the Fire move to hit you, then you will probably be able to get through it with the Psychic move.
Right.
Destiny Bond would be much better if Custap existed. It's got dual screens. It probably can use them in draft, but probably not on ladder. It's got Taunt. Taunt's fine. Wide Guard's very, very useful as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Wide Guard would be kind of nice just for the sake of a little bit of switch up and protect him for an extra turn.
It's really good against
let
like
something
rain.
Extra do some damage.
But yeah, definitely not a bad option. And then Funny Wisp. Acid Spray has some utility, though I feel like most of the time your attacking move is going to give you more than Acid Spray will.
Yeah, you're going to want to try hit Store Power over Acid Spray.
It does have access to Mystical Fire, which again has some utility. It's kind of like the inverse of Armor Cannon, which is a very fast, comes at the cost of your defenses, so you wind up like dying quicker. And then whereas this comes and like functionally bulks you out by mitigating your opponent's damage. Fire Spin maybe has some utility at some point. Spite is a funny one. I have not managed to make Spite work in VGC, but I have tried.
I've looked at it a few times, and if it lowered it by more than 4, I think we'd have something. But that is or like a percentage.
The problem is the PP maxes exist.
Right.
When you're playing on ladder. Probably not on ladder because they use like net deck teams. Maybe if you brought it to a tournament, like if you brought a Spite Strat to tournament, you might be able to do it. I just feel like Disable is generally better.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Weavile, would you like to take us through Weavile?
Yeah, so, I mean, looking at Weavile, we know it's pretty fast. I mean, far from the fastest thing in the format. That's the one issue, though.
It didn't like Gen 7. or Gen 6, but in Gen 6 it was like on the Mega turn, they weren't faster than it. But they didn't like Gen 7 when the Megas all got immediately fast. They didn't like when Coco came in. And they didn't like Gen 8 when they added in like Zacian and Zamazenta. And it really didn't like, and Regieleki. And it really didn't like Gen 9. Because now there's a million Pokemon that are faster than it, and half the Pokemon that are slower than it get booster NG and become faster anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem with Weavile is, especially in the current format, its speed tier is just right under fast for the tier itself. Its defenses, I mean, if it gets hit by any fighting type move, that thing's crumbling fast. Extremely fast. Even if it's a special.
Let me just check something.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I'm trying to find what the weakest Aura Sphere I can try hitting it with is, so I can see if it lives. Meowscarada. It's a special, you know, it's a special Meowscarada. Sorry, it's not invested though. No. It is Overgrow. Yes, that's the correct one. Let's see if Weavile, by slapping on like max HP in the Solfest, can live. Oh, okay, no, I don't even need to. Okay, maybe we can give it special attack again. See? All you need is the Solfest, and then you suddenly live. Also, Sash would let you live anyways, but you know. Max HP doesn't.
No, it gives you a shot to still die, but it's just one of those mons. It's frail. We're gonna have to be very creative to make this thing work. I mean, abilities aren't great.
This one synergizes with Sash and does nothing else.
Yeah, and I mean, it
the
could be something fun.
Contact Shocks, to contrast to Magician.
We could use up our item and then just hit quick attack, and fling. I have no idea. It's one of those mons, especially we were talking before. It's lost some moves that you would think Weavile would have, like knockoff. It doesn't feel like
Triple Axle is a big one in terms of
Triple
its
Axle
damage.
is huge.
I mean, last generation, one thing, Clear Amulet didn't exist, which was a big part of this, and Dynamax existed. Last generation, I was pretty sure that Weavile was just worse than Sneasel, because Sneasel did about as much damage, but had inner focus, which meant that it was doing that damage more consistently. Now there's more ways to deal with that Intimidate, like I said, that Covert Cloak option. Sorry, Clear Amulet option, rather. But now Sneasel just also sucks because of Covert Cloak.
Yeah.
It's not that Weavile got better than Sneasel, it's just that Sneasel also really sucks.
Right.
That said, this one is better. It has Night Slash. Sneasel is using Assurance as its Dark Stab. Or Snarl. They're both using Snarl.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, the more I'm looking at this, the more I feel like you can't really, if you're going to build with a Weavile on your team for whatever reason outside of this video, you really have to lean into it being more of a fast support, I feel like, and just try to then try to make it an attacker of any kind or thought or anything.
I mean, I think this is like this fake out Ice Spinner is a big thing. Beat Up is one of the reasons to actually use Weavile, though I don't know if it's actually a bad Beat Up user because it's got Stab, so therefore it's going to do damage to it. But I think it is the fastest. Yeah, the next fastest is Mousehold, who is a much better Pokemon. But
right.
Let's not talk about that. Because, you know, Friend Guard, it makes it even less Stab. But yes,
so one thing I'm wondering, when Beat Up hits in to Armarouge, is Pickpocket going to trigger before Weakness Policy? I'm assuming Weakness Policy should trigger before Pickpocket and Ability triggers, right? We're not going to accidentally
What happens to Weavile's item that it's going to be... Okay, so if this Pokemon has no item and it's hit by a contact move... No, someone has to hit Weavile with the contact move.
Okay.
And consume its item, or have its item consumed. Like, berries, I think, don't steal items, but...
yeah.
But the other thing does, like, if you have Sash and you get hit by something that puts you to Sash, that's a contact move, you do steal their item, which is generally not useful, but
no,
it's knockoff.
But that makes it so much worse. I always thought he was the pickpocket. Now, like, you think you'd be attacking to be the pickpocket in my mind, but
wait, I'm pretty sure the idea of pickpocket is it's like you know, the like thing in films where they like, oh, they jostle up against you and then all of a sudden your wallet's missing.
I guess, yeah.
That's my thought process.
No, that's a good, fair point. I'm looking at this thing more and more and disliking it more and more.
On a scale of 1, not very good. Do you think Pickpocket would be good if it let you have multiple items?
I do. Honestly, that'd be interesting.
I mean, sorry.
Pickpocket, you steal the item and you switch it out. Or something.
Yeah, like,
or you
obviously
just
that'd be a
drop
very
it.
different thing, but I feel like if we wanted to rebalance Pickpocket to make it good, the fact that it has that contact conditionality, which Magician doesn't have,
Right.
certainly makes it seem like that might be a way to deal with that. Yes, Ice Spinner is cool because you can remove opposing terrain. We don't like terrain. We don't like Rillaboom in this house.
Yeah, Ice Spinner definitely has a good use there.
So I feel like if we do, I mean, do we want to do this funny like strat where they actually synergize with each other, or just run like a regular team and pretend that Weavile makes sense on it? Apparently,
I like
is most common on mono ice teams. 65% of teams it's on feature Glaceon.
I did see that. Actually, are you on Peakalytics right now? Because that's where I was looking earlier.
Yeah.
And Glaceon popped up, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem great. How much is Beat Up doing into Armarouge?
Probably a lot. To be honest, we should probably be this, but it is stab, which is definitely not like a good thing for us.
Yeah.
And then turns from like ice. This way we can play around fake out, which might be an issue in some situations. So stored power, heat wave. Is there a dark? Oh, I know what dark type we have to worry about. We no longer have to worry about GU.
Let's see what we got in here. Impel. GU.
Oh no, it was just GU that I was specifically trying to remember the name of, and Aurasphere covers it.
Oh, gotcha.
On the plus side, we don't need to run much speed investment on account of the fact that we will be +6 speed. Technically +8. If we get hit by an Icy Wind first or something.
Yeah. That also brings up a point. What is Weavile doing after we beat up? Besides, I mean, it could die, which would be very beneficial to us.
The ideal would be that it was not around anymore.
Yeah.
Beyond that, maybe it's Ice Shard. I think Ice Spinner has utility, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Helping Hand does.
Especially for ability.
I think we more want this to be able to clean up like a Sash Pokemon that lives Heat Wave or whatever.
Okay, yeah. Ice Shard would be ideal then, or... I mean,
also definitely be like defensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ice Shard, or we could commit to. I know it's a weird pick. We can throw Quick Attack on, and just take that because then it'll trigger that weak armor. Or Ice Shard does just the same. I don't know.
Beat Up already triggers it to max.
Right. I'm saying if we don't want to do as much damage, Ice Shard's fine. Ice Shard's
then we
fine.
don't get the weakness policy, so we don't do any damage.
No, I know.
The other thing we can do is
there might be a situation where it might be more worth it. I like Ice Shard there.
Yeah, Ice Shard's fine. Okay, so now what stops us doing? Oh, sorry. The other thing I think we could do is we could throw Annihilate onto this team as the other like beat up recipient.
Yeah. I like that a bit. Something different.
I mean, it's not. This is we're just running Mouse Ape, which is like the normal thing that Ape runs, but it's probably slightly more consistent. This should really be Sash. This should really be Sash.
Yeah, because as soon as it runs into
Furata main
in the top 5, it's getting destroyed probably, except Amoonguss, but
I don't know if it has a positive matchup into Amoonguss.
No, but it's not going to get one-shotted.
So, looking at the top 10, I think it has a bad matchup into all of them, except... No, I think it has a bad matchup into Landorus as well, yeah. Just Terra existing means that it no longer matches up well into Landorus. I'm pretty sure it won't Oka or Rillaboom. So Rage Fist, Drain Punch. Fire Punch, Manual Rest. I don't know what this set runs. It should probably be like Bulk Up or something.
Bulk Up seems fair. Give him a little more ability here.
You probably slap like a bit here. So what is like the best way to follow up on Armarouge to make sure that it gets more than one attack off? Do we follow it? Do we follow it up with redirection?
I was gonna say Indeedee, but yeah, redirection.
No, it's definitely not Indeedee because we don't want to make Weavile absolutely useless.
No, I know. Yeah.
Weavile has 2 good moves.
Honestly, does Amoonguss work here well?
I will say that under my rules, I'm not allowed to use Amoonguss again because I already had him as like a 3rd deck mon several times. So let's look at what other Rage Powder Pokemon are in the format. Yeah. I know Vivian is. There's Jumpluff. Jumpluff isn't bad.
Yeah, Jumpluff would. I actually don't mind.
It's got Tailwind as well.
Yeah, Jumpluff would be fun. Does it get probably absolutely destroyed by something? Sure, but it gets Strength Slap, doesn't it?
But which Pokemon, sorry, destroys us?
Chien-Pao, specifically.
Sure, let's run the Terra Steel, Tailwind, Sleep Powder, Rage Powder. Wouldn't we just like want to hit it with like Pollen Puff, and then we can also side Pollen Puff, which Armarouge probably appreciates. We need to use this Rage Powder to redirect Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
I think we should run like Low Kick over one of these ice moves, which I think is Ice Shot.
Low Kick would be great in the Heat Ran for sure.
It's for Chien-Pao.
Well, and Chien-Pao, of course, but either way, I mean, if you run up against Heat Ran.
Yes. I honestly think that Ice Spinner is a better move into most Heatran sets because they're all Grass type.
Yeah, because they're going to Terra Grass.
Probably not into this thing. I don't know how much stored power is at +2 plus, so 60 plus another 60. No, it's 60 plus 40 plus 60, so it's 160 base power. That actually does not sound that strong. But we'll just pretend it works, okay? That's my opinion. No, you should definitely be Cobra Cloak. We took the Cobra Cloak off Weavile. You probably want like special defense on that, right? On jump lock?
I don't know. I kind of like having the HP. It gives you a little bit more bulk in that defense.
Oh, I meant like less speed.
Oh, less speed.
Would you prefer physically defensive or specially defensive?
What's it really outspeeding at that point that it's not already faster than it?
So yeah, I will say the benchmark I'd probably try to hit is like Lando I, Thund T, that 101.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. Slower. Get down there, give some
good old land loss.
Yeah.
So that puts us back here, and then, like I said, do we want to run more special defense or physical defense?
Look at what threats we got. Are mostly, well, I guess it's kind of mixed.
I feel like we die to most of the physical attackers, or we match up decently into them. Like, there's no like physical attacker that I feel like we significantly improve our matchup into by running physical defense, whereas like running special defense can let us live a Flutter Mane.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. If we run into a physical threat, it's either killing it outright or just barely.
Or it's Rillaboom and then like we wall it, or it's Landorus and then we can like not take that much anyways, right?
Right. Yeah. What? I mean, next up, I would think we'd want. I might as well just complete a Fire, Water, Grass core. So what water?
Sure. Here's my other way to proc.
Yeah, that right there makes the most sense. Booster. Try. Do we rely on Hydro Pump or do we trap somebody in Encore?
I mean, we do both, right?
We could do both.
Just the old Yieldy Terra Ghost variant. Without Icy Wind, the useful move.
Yeah.
Also, Flip Turn is really bad anti-synergy with booster energy, but we'll just... That's fine. It's okay.
Give it a try. We're out here having fun.
So, last Pokemon. Oh, also, we should probably set... No, we Terra set for all the Pokemon. Okay, cool. Who do you want as our last Pokemon? We don't have like a Fairy Resist at all, so... Oh no, we do, it's Armarouge. Do you have a Flying Resist? No. We should probably get a Flying Resist.
Flying Resist would be great. So what do we look at, electric or a rock type? I mean...
Or Steel type.
Or Steel type. Steel type wouldn't be bad. Another Fairy Resist wouldn't be the worst thing. On top of it.
I forgot to do all. Actually, I can just do slash deck search resists flying fully evolved all. I don't know if I can remove Pikachu. Actually, what's Pikachu base stat total? I can just ask for base stat totals over 350. BST over 350, BST less than 700. There we go, I successfully removed Zacian. What's Cryo's base stat total? It doesn't tell me? Great, thanks. What was the highest base stat total that's legal? Slaking. Did that remove Crydon on right? It did. There we go. That's our list of Pokemon.
Alright.
We don't have an electric resist either, so it might be Iron Treads.
Yeah, Iron Treads looks...
Oh, there's also Gudra. It does resist things. And it's got Life Chew.
Kind of like Hisuian Gudra here. I haven't got to use it on the ladder too much yet, and it's a good little switch up from what we're trying to do, and it's reliable.
Well, my thoughts is it can follow up in both the Annihilate and the Armarouge modes pretty well with that Life Chew variant.
It can definitely clean up.
I don't know what item it runs. Is it leftovers?
I think generally it's leftovers.
I've played a bunch of these, but I think that I've seen like different items on a number of them. Okay, leftovers, it says. Leftovers and Assault Vest. We don't intend on running Assault Vest, considering our main move is Life Chew. I'm honestly fine with Life Chew in that top slot. I definitely think we would prefer Freeze Dry in that top slot. We definitely prefer Rage Powder in that top slot. Because we'll be playing together. Timer does exist, and opponents sometimes put it on. My hot tip for playing against Timer is just like, yeah, Rage Fist is correct. Click the top, click your first move. You can always cancel out of it, but if you're running out of time, it has less button presses to get an okay second move, which is more important. Alright, I think that's what we would like for our defaults, and then I don't know if this Pokemon bothers running special defense or if it just runs like a nature. I would assume just a nature, right?
I think you're right. I think it's usually just nature. Got it pulled up in front of me. Yeah, I've got Impish. Oh, it's running. What's Impish get put up? Is that defense?
Impish is boss defense, yeah.
Defense. So the top, I mean, and top is like by 0.6%, but
not a whole 0.6%. I don't know. Yeah, do any runs speed?
Not there. If they do run some speed, it's very minimal.
Okay, what's like the speed benchmark that stands out to you for us to check?
We got 80, 60 base speed. I don't think there's really anything we're too concerned about, right?
Okay.
I think we're committing it to going. It's going to go slow no matter what.
All right. So then we just run like this, or maybe 4 in the attack.
Yeah.
We could obviously consider running actual min speed. So I don't know if
honestly
does that
might
much
as well. If it goes up, if Trick Room goes up, maybe we have a chance of outspeeding something. Very unlikely, but
if we run actual min speed, we would underspeed imposing in DD Armarouge Trick Rooms.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed. I'd rather just commit to being slow than being just middling somewhere in the middle.
I'm fine with this. I mean, it's not going to do anything to a DD Armarouge Trick Room, but
no,
it's fine.
But
I mean, it is at least a psychic resist. Okay, so are we ready for our first game on the ladder? I ran Terra Fighting because it makes us not weak to ground and fighting, and we have body press, so it's a damage out. I don't know what the best Terra is, and I think that there's been quite a lot of different Terras that I've run into.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good.
The authority is that also it gives you the Wicked Blow resist is okay, though it's really the fighting type you're more concerned with, so maybe it should be something like Terra Fairy, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's run it. Let's give it a try, see what happens with this.
Alright, game on, and we'll have you click the buttons game on. I have never seen that version of Goldengo before. So, this honestly seems like a team where Weavile Armarouge is a terrible lead. Do we try and lead Weavile next to, like, do we lead up? Oh, is this the Iron Bundle? No, it isn't, because they clicked it. Do we lead Weavile Iron Bundle?
Weavile Iron Bundle.
With Armarouge in the back and Gudra, probably, no, Jumpluff in the back. Weavile Iron Bundle, Armarouge, Jumpluff. Then we have the option, if they lead a lead that lets us do it, to switch Weavile out and then flip turn into our own Armarouge.
Yeah, I like it. Let's give it a try.
Alright.
We can get it started here. Alright. What do we got? Natus and
Captain Blandurus. So honestly, kind of think we just Ice Spin a Torn and Freeze Dry Lando.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Well,
like there's definitely some thought process to faking out Lando.
Yeah, that's
because it will attack before us. You could fake out Lando, but I kind of think it might protect. So I kind of just want to attack both targets.
Yeah, let's get some damage into it. So we'll go Ice Spinner into Torn and Freeze Dry into Lando.
Also, don't expect Lando to... Okay.
Oof.
No flinch, please. Oh, I forgot that would just die.
Yeah, I was hoping. Alright, so Jumpluff looks like what we're... Well, no matter what, I don't think we're in a good situation.
I think we've lost, but we'll go... I wish we had Ice Shot. Though, that said, Ice Spinner did nothing. Weavile is at -1, absolutely terrible. Like I said, Weavile is a bad matchup into Lando. I guess
here's what we can do.
We go Armarouge, right?
Armarouge ain't outspeeding anything.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. We go Armarouge anyways, right? We click Terra.
Yep. Kick. Oh, we don't have... Shit, I thought we still had Ice Shot on there. We don't. Kick on...
Either way, Ice Shot isn't KOing anything. I think we switch Weavile into Jumpluff.
Yeah.
And we go for Aura Sphere into Lando, as well as we Terra the Armarouge.
Yep. Alright, let's see. Our Ghost.
Okay, that Ice Shot wind did not work out for us.
No, but we got a little boost here.
Yeah, we're still just very slow.
Nothing.
And we got flipped. Okay.
Oh no.
Now we can fake out the Lando.
And I guess we're going probably...
And Heat Wave, I guess?
About all we can do.
I think we should probably be heat waving, but maybe we should be going for the Why is it doing 14? What a gross Pokemon. Okay, at least Heat Wave. At least we picked up one Pokemon. You know, we didn't get completely destroyed. This Torn is not a good matchup for the team that we have.
No, not at all.
I would not recommend protecting.
Yeah, we'll go down swinging.
Especially this not turning out to be
Alright. We learned.
I think if we weren't flinched, we still lost.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we learned. Did we learn something? We learned that this team is maybe not a super consistent archetype.
That is probably what we're and now we're Rain Team.
So, maybe this is a Weavile Armarouge lead.
Yeah.
Now, the corollary to that is, unfortunately, they have the ability to lead. So, alright, I'm playing this game, that's right. Weavile Armarouge.
Right.
Goodra, Iron Bundle. Really, I should just be leading Iron Bundle, but you know what? I didn't do that, so. We kind of expect them just to attack us with Overquill, which I don't like. I would appreciate if they didn't. I think I fake out the Pelipper. I don't bother terraing, because I'm just going to die to crunch anyways. That's great. I love that. Love that for me. I'm going to go for stored power, also into Pelipper. I'm hoping that they just, like, they attack here and it doesn't die, even though it definitely will, because
oh my,
they run Banded.
Right.
If they weren't Banded, it wouldn't have died. So we go Iron Bundle now. And now Iron Bundle is, like, significantly scarier than our previous Pokemon. I have no idea how much Lure Kick. It's not very much. Okay. We Ice Spinner and we Freeze Stride the Pelipper. Also, this might Oko Iron Bundle. I don't know. It looks like it probably doesn't.
Probably. Oh. 5 yard.
Okay. I don't know what that was covering for.
I'm not sure either. Or maybe Icy Wind for some odd reason.
I guess thinking. to make Weavile faster.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not what we wanted to see.
No.
We didn't tear the Armarouge, right? No, we didn't. Good.
We can low kick that Chimpa now.
Yeah, and then switch in Goodra because I want. Oh, but then it's not gonna have speed.
I mean, I'm thinking we bank on that because what is he? Once rain ends, is he gonna outspeed Iron Bundle as is?
Yeah, well,
he can live that long.
Okay, why does that 2-hit KO? I don't like that. It shouldn't be doing that.
Well, it's Weavile.
But like, it's a resisted move.
It don't matter.
It really doesn't seem like it does, huh? So, I mean, we go for Ice Spitter into Overquill and Body Press into Chien-Pao, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is gonna Sacred Sword. I should have terrored. Why does that do 35? I don't like that.
No.
Also, we didn't run out of oh my god, and now we're like significantly slower.
We
actually, weren't we just faster before? Yeah, we were faster than Overquill before. But the Sucker Punch was the problem. Okay, so I mean, we Freeze Dry the Basculegion, and we Terra Fighting Acid Life Dew. We Life Dew. We Terra Fighting and Life Dew. Unsurprisingly, both of our Pokemon just die.
Yeah.
I think that strategies like this are basically impossible to work in this format.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a lot harder than it should be.
I think last generation, Dynamax really enabled a lot of this sort of stuff. No, I think that, no, even Series 3, I think you could get away with this. The problem, like, part of the problem is Flutter Mane, and then the other bits of the problem are Pow Knight, which we've run into several times, and then the other problem is Taunt. But Taunt is a big part of that being a problem. So...
Now we get
I don't know, do we just leave Weavile Iron Bundle because it's actually good, unlike the rest of this options? Like, Armarouge is an okay Pokemon sometimes. It's not a good Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think we leave Weavile Iron Bundle and we just, like, go
Weavile
for damage
Bundle, and I think Goodra's still pretty solid here.
I mean, it loses to everything on their team. As we found out, it loses to Chien-Pao. But,
it does. Yeah. It does. But it just seems to be one of the better answers.
Oh, yes, no, it's definitely one of the more... Maybe it's Weavile Goodra lead, even.
I'm not opposed to that.
I think it might be Weavile Goodra with, Iron Bundle Armarouge in the back.
Yeah, yep. Alright, let's give it a whirl here. So we got... Moongus?
Okay, well that's bad. We didn't really bring, like, a Fungus check. Beat Up isn't a contact move, so we can Beat Up and Iron Defense with Goodra, but they are just going to put us to sleep, which is annoying.
Yeah. I guess, do we want to fake it out and get an Iron Defense? I guess, well...
They're going to break our Sash, then. We could Terra Ice Spinner it. And Heavy Slam it. We go for the Heavy Slam into the Flutter, but we would Terra Ice Spinner and then go for Heavy Slam into Flutter, expecting it to be redirected.
Okay, yeah.
I guess we could fake it out. I don't know. Faking it out and Heavy Slamming Flutter is okay.
Let's aggro. Let's aggro.
Yeah. We don't know what item they are.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
why?
The good news is that we made the correct play. They aren't even helmet. Does Heavy Slime KO? It does. Okay, the good news is we made the correct play.
Yes, yeah, I agree. But Terra Water? That's the last
The bad news is that they have this fucking bullshit Chien-Pao. Worst Pokemon in the history of competitive Pokemon design. Why did they make this Pokemon like this? So I think we need to double Chien-Pao with
low kick and body press,
or do we ever switch in Armarouge and go for Life Dew? Armarouge should definitely have had speed so that it was faster than Chien-Pao +2. That's our learning thing. I think we switch in Armarouge and go for Life Dew.
Alright, yep. Give it a try.
Is it good? No. But, okay,
no,
that's a good start. Okay, I was hoping they would Sacred Sword the Weavile. I don't know why I thought they would Sacred Sword the Weavile, because it didn't make any sense. So now we protect the Armarouge and body press the Chien-Pao.
Okay.
And now we have Fake Out to threaten it with a KO in future.
Once that Armarouge dead.
No, it's not the Chien-Pao dead, because they're all Sash, and this game is awful. Chien-Pao is such a toxic Pokemon, man. In draft, in ladder, in everything. I can't believe I have to play week 1 of this draft.
Let's see. We want to get going here.
I mean, all of our Pokemon are just dead. Like, we just sacked these 2 Pokemon, and then hope that the Iron Bundle Weavile can do it.
Yeah. Alright. Let's dig right into him. See what we got here. Here goes. Okay,
we bring out Iron Bundle Weavile. And, like, we just lost by 1,000,000 points because we tried to do something, like, vaguely interesting in this format. It has a lot of variety, right? But the problem is that the power level of that variety is just so intense that combo stuff just is not feasible. There's, like, Mouse Ape, and that's about it.
As we freeze dry Flutter. I mean,
well, you can do Perish Trap as well. Perish Trap is cool. But, yeah, so little.
Even then,
why are we freeze drying Flutter? Okay, did we double the Flutter? No, okay.
No, I was trying. I guess I could have doubled the Flutter. Should have probably figured that was going to kill. That's my fault.
Yeah, I mean, we
freeze dry is the only thing that
like
really
we don't care about the Chien-Pao. We definitely should have faked out the Flutter. We always expected the Chien-Pao to protect there, and now it can suck a KO either of ours, and then the other one just dies anyways. So they always suck a KO, Iron Bundle, and Deagling.
That's on me.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
No.
I guess technically your best play is to Encore Chien-Pao and hope that they do the wrong play with Flutter, and so we beat up it, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Oh.
Yeah, I mean they didn't Moonblast, but yeah, so that was our only out. I think was them Moonblasting and then us beating the Chien-Pao because it was locked into Protect. I don't think that was ever a realistic out, but that was our only out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we still don't know what he had in the back, which.
Yeah. So yes, my definitely my main takeaway from this is that these more like these combo things where you're like, okay, I want to do a funny lead and then hope that works out. It really is not. Really is not an option. Wouldn't have minded if it was an option, but I don't think that they are. No, we brought a lot of stuff that was supposed to support it, and it's not like Iron Bundle wasn't pulling its weight here. I guess Annihilate didn't do anything.
No, because it just doesn't feel.
But that's because Weavile can't support it, but Mousehold can. Yeah, Weavile is just really sad this gen, and Armarouge is much better when you're not doing this weakness policy thing. Or if you are, if we maybe had committed to doing it with Iron Bundle and Run Speed. We definitely should have Run Speed. Not running Speed was stupid. Probably could have done something, but not that much because Chien-Pao is everywhere. Like, we run into several Dark types on all of the teams we played against. Right.
And it's just, and it's the disappointing thing about this format right now is, like, the power creep from Scarlet Violet coming out to now. We're not even a year in, and look at the format.
The only Pokemon that I've used that I've been genuinely disappointed with, because I guess Weavile now, and the previous one was Zoroark Kisplay. Every other Pokemon, Ampharos did work, Altaria did work, Wigglytuff did work, Whiscash did work, Certainly Arboliva did a lot of work. There's so many Pokemon that you can do stuff with. The question is what stuff you can do. I think that, yeah, these combo archetypes, which I think were so prominent during Dynamax, so I don't have a problem that they're gone. But I think that even you could definitely still do them somewhat in, well, certainly in Series 1, but I think the Booster Energy stuff is too much of a thing, and Qianpao and D-Knight are too much of a thing. And then Torn is just absolutely layering on top of that previous issue. And if Regieleki hadn't been nerfed, it would be too, and Rillaboom absolutely does as well. So I don't think that there's problems using a bunch of different Pokemon. We use Weavile to some success in the last video. I've used Armarouge to some success in 2 other videos as well. They aren't the problems. The problem is definitely trying to build this combo archetype, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it takes a bit of the fun away from, okay, I've played the ladder with a legit team several times. I kind of just want to sit back and maybe make a new account, play bottom of the ladder, and you can't even get through. It feels like sometimes you can't get through bottom of the ladder.
This is an incredibly small ladder, right? If we look at the VGC regulation D ladder, there's what, 2012. It's like it's terrible, but it's not a particularly hard ladder. You would generally expect there to be tons of accounts in the 2000s. I think, do we make it to 1600s? Okay, not quite. So there's a decent number of players in terms of like the top 500, but like compared to something like OU where you have just 1900s there, it's definitely not a particularly large ladder. And so many people are using Smurf accounts to test out different variations of compositions. So I think
we're also in a weird period
maybe 2 bad
where
teams.
Next weekend's the Worlds, right? So there's probably people on here just trying out different teams, getting an idea. And I mean, we're gonna see less of the gimmicky stuff through this week than we would normally see too.
For sure, yeah. I mean, maybe it depends on how many people are taking gimmicks to Worlds, but yeah, definitely maybe not the best time for it. But yeah, look, I think we came in with an experiment of does this kind of composition work, and the answer, not too much. And I don't think, well, I think we saw this Armarouge set wasn't very good, but I don't think we saw that Weavile wasn't good. I think Weavile is okay for what it is. Like Armarouge is here at 17. To be honest, I think it's very good at 17, but it's fine. There's only better Pokemon in 16. And then in 9, we have Weavile, and I think Weavile is probably one of the okayest Pokemon in 9. There are definitely a lot of other Pokemon in 9 I would draft before it, but its utility of being that relatively fast Pokemon, not particularly fast, especially in like a booster format, but okay fast, it's probably worth picking up. But I don't know if I would.
Yeah, it'd have to be doing something very specific for your team if you're willing to...
I think at 9 it's fine, right? But if it was at like 12, you would need a team that had the perfect beat-up synergy and also was like just undefeated, like probably like beat up Rattled, because you couldn't even get away with like beat up Weak Armor because it does so much side damage. The other thing I was thinking of is we could do a Justified besides Rage Fist, but there's just nothing. It's like, oh, what, we do it on Arcanine? But why not just run a Choice Band with Qianpao? Oh well. Definitely thanks for hopping on. It was fun doing stuff.
Yeah. Attempting to do stuff, at least.
Definitely. I mean, look, building was fun, and like I think that there is probably some place where we could use this team and enjoy ourselves more, but the current ladder is definitely not that place. I mean, we only ran one Pokemon for Rec D. I think there's probably plenty of times I've run 0 Pokemon for Rec D, but you know what? Shush.
Still, yeah, it's difficult. I think once we get into some of this DLC stuff coming out, and I do feel like they're going to kind of cut back on the format a little bit. I don't think they're just going to keep piling on at this point, but it'll be a little easier to play around a bit.
Look, I don't mind the format. I think it's been pretty good. I think before the format started, I said I wish they would have 2 formats of this, one without the legendaries and one with legendaries. I still kind of stand by that. I wish that we got to see Pokemon like Decidueye, doing more than popping up on one high ladder team with 5 regular looking Pokemon. But to be honest, of the Pokemon that are the most over-centralizing in this format, it's Qianpao, Dragonite, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, and then it's Urshifu and Tornadus.
Right.
Most of those Pokemon would be in that theoretical other format without the legendaries. It's only 2 of them, and like, Taunt is definitely significantly better than Murkrow, but you could still use Murkrow.
Yeah.
Or Talonflame.
Definitely. But it just balances things out a lot more when you have those mons doing that job over, like Murkrow doing that job over Tornadus. Because Murkrow's move pool is a little, it's definitely more support than able to kind of mix it up and do some damage too.
Yeah. I kind of wish this Armarouge set could have worked, but yeah. It's certainly not without the speed to be faster than Gen Power +2, or which also covers Flutter Mane. And Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle definitely dropped off a cliff this format.
Right.
Just so much Tailwind.
If only Weavile had about 10-15 more points of speed, this would have worked out.
I mean, no, because we ran into 2 Tornaduses, and then like one of them was like that Flutter Mane Amoonguss lead, and a beat up gets redirected by Amoonguss.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just thinking more so if we ended up running into Chien-Pao Dragonite together, we could have at least got Armarouge up.
Yeah, not being faster than the Pokemon that is you, but significantly better, definitely means that you'd lose to the Pokemon that's you, but significantly better.
Right.
The same is sadly true of Regieleki and Electrode. But, you know, we gave it a shot. Thanks everyone for watching. I think in future, I'll probably stick away from these more combo-oriented sort of like team ideas, because they don't appear to be particularly consistent. I think this is the only game I've gone unwin in maybe week 1, which was the Zoroark one, which was like his way one, which was the other game I was disappointed in, and also had Iron Bundle. Maybe Iron Bundle's the problem, but I think everything else was pretty good. I genuinely think you can use most Pokemon, probably every single Pokemon in that's legal in this format, that's fully evolved, and do something with it on a team. It's just more difficult to find these, like, because both Weavile, because Armarouge is decent in this tier. Like, it's not top of the format, but it's not unusable by any means. 4% usage, that's more than Torkoal. That's more than Arcanine. Yeah, it's more than King App. It's not a bad Pokemon by any means. It's just a Pokemon which is much better at one thing than it is at other things. And I mean, this was the same issue I had with it in Draft, is that the weakness policy set maybe worked 1 week, and every other time Armarouge without Psychic Terrain just kind of sucked.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh well. Thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye.